Right now, at this exact moment, your body is glowing, not in a poetic sense. Literally. Every living cell you have is emitting real, measurable light. Flashes so faint they are 1,000 times weaker than what your eyes can detect. Scientists have photographed it in a completely dark room. The glow is real, and here is the part that should stop you cold. The pattern of that glow changes days before you feel sick. Your body is not a passive machine waiting to break down. It is running a continuous broadcast, a live signal made of light, electricity, and rhythm. And for almost all of human history, nobody knew how to read it. That has changed. Right now, in 2026, the science of reading your body's hidden signal before illness strikes is real. It is peer-reviewed, and the device that does it might already be on your wrist. Today, we are going inside 3 discoveries that are rewriting what it means to get sick and what it means to stay ahead of it. Every single cell in your body is electrically active, not in some vague metaphorical way, in a precise, measurable biophysical way. Your cell membranes, the outer walls of every cell, maintain a constant electrical charge across them. Think of it like a microscopic battery, fully charged, running 24 hours a day. That charge is not static. It pulses, it oscillates. Every cell in a healthy body does this in a kind of coordinated rhythm, and scientists can now measure it using a technique called bioimpedance spectroscopy. You pass a tiny, painless electrical current through the tissue and measure how the cells respond. Healthy cells with intact charged membranes respond with high electrical capacitance, which simply means they hold their charge well. Damaged or diseased cells lose that capacitance. The signal weakens, the rhythm breaks, but the electrical signal is only half the picture. Your cells are also emitting light, not the light of a light bulb, not even close, but real photons, produced as a side effect of cellular metabolism. Scientists call these ultra-weak photon emissions, or UPAs. In 2009, a team in Japan used an ultra-sensitive camera to photograph the human body, glowing in complete darkness. The light followed a daily rhythm, brightest in the late afternoon, lowest in the early morning, tracking the body's metabolic cycle with extraordinary precision. What Pop, the physicist who first studied this in the 1970s, proposed was that these biophotons are not random noise. They are coherent, meaning the cells are not just emitting light independently, they appear to be emitting it in a coordinated way, like instruments in an orchestra, all playing from the same score. When the orchestra is in tune, the body is in a state scientists call homeostasis. That is just the technical word for everything running as it should. Temperature stable, inflammation low, immune system calm, energy flowing efficiently. But the moment something enters that orchestra that does not belong, the score changes, and the very first instrument to fall out of tune is not the one you would expect. It is not your immune cells. It is your heart. Your heart does not beat like a metronome. If it did, that would actually be a bad sign. A healthy heart has tiny natural variations between each beat, speeding up slightly when you breathe in, slowing down when you breathe out. Scientists call this heart rate variability, or HRV. Think of HRV as your nervous system's live report on the state of your body. High variability means your body is flexible, responsive, and calm. Low variability means it is under strain. Here is where it gets extraordinary. Multiple peer-reviewed studies, including military research involving over 12,000 personnel using wearable devices over 4 years, have shown that HRV drops measurably before any physical symptom of illness appears. In a study published in Military Medicine, decreases in HRV preceded measurable rises in the body's primary inflammation marker by up to 72 hours. The signal came before the inflammation, before the fever, before the sore throat, before you felt anything at all. A Stanford University study analyzed data from over 5,000 smartwatch users. 81% of infected individuals showed detectable changes in their signals before symptoms appeared, and 4 cases were flagged more than 9 days before the person felt sick. The difference between illness and exhaustion Both drop HRV, but illness signals last longer. A 2025 systematic review confirmed illness signals persist on average 4.3 days. What is actually happening? Your autonomic nervous system is not malfunctioning. It is deliberately redirecting. The vagus nerve, running from your brainstem through your chest and abdomen, begins suppressing non-essential functions to redirect energy toward the unseen cellular battle. The dissonance is not a breakdown, it is a mobilization. The question is no longer whether your body is broadcasting this warning. The question is whether anyone has built a device sensitive enough to receive it. The answer is yes, and it is already in consumer hands. A 2025 systematic review analyzing over 100 studies and approximately 100,000 participants confirmed that smart rings can detect illness an average of 2.75 days before symptoms appear, with 82% sensitivity. Inflammatory disease flares predicted up to 7 weeks in advance. These are not lab experiments. These are consumer devices that people wear while they sleep. The next frontier is not just detection, it is intervention. This is where pulsed electromagnetic field therapy becomes relevant. PEMF is not new. The FDA cleared its first device in the 1970s, but a 2024 peer-reviewed review confirmed that targeted low-frequency electromagnetic fields interact with biological systems at the cellular level, influencing inflammation pathways and gene expression. A 2025 study found that specific electromagnetic frequencies measurably reduced pro-inflammatory markers in immune cells. In plain terms, if your body runs on frequency, it may also be possible to tune it. Your HRV data, your biophoton pattern, your bioelectrical signature, this is deeply personal biological information. Insurance companies, employers, and health systems already have economic incentives to access exactly this kind of predictive data. The same technology that warns you 3 days early could be used to make decisions about you before you have said a word. That tension is not a reason to dismiss the science. It is a reason to understand it. 3 discoveries, 1 thread. Your cells are emitting measurable light and electrical signals. When a pathogen enters, the pattern breaks, and the break is detectable in your heart rate, variability up to 72 hours before your first symptom. The devices to read that signal exist today. The science to intervene at the frequency level is in development right now. Your body has been running this broadcast your entire life. The orchestra has always been playing for the first time in history. We are learning to hear it before the music falls apart. The question worth sitting with is this: if you knew 3 days in advance that you were about to get sick, what would you do differently, and who else should have the right to know? If this made you see your body differently, subscribe. We drop new videos every week that take science you have never heard of and make it impossible to forget. See you in the next one.